Game's dead. They didn't. They ruined the game. Our game. Classic World of Warcraft. Blizzard has taken it and they've thrown it in the garbage. Oh, here it is. 1,000 comments. Oh boy. This is the new patch notes for patch 1.1.3.5. The new 20-player raid zone, Ruins of Ahn'Qiraj, is now open in the PTR and available for testing. The 40-player raid zone, Temple of Ahn'Qiraj, will not be available for public testing. This raid will only be available after it is opened on each realm. Now, in my opinion, what does that sound like to me? You know what I think that sounds like? I think that sounds a lot fucking like we're getting the actual Cthulhu pre-nerf. I'm pretty sure that's what it's going to be. Because if they're not going to do that, I'd be fucking amazed. At this point, I mean, I feel like players have proven themselves to be good enough to do Cthulhu pre-nerf. And I think that Blizzard could bring it out, and there's a good chance that players could do it. Testing 15-year-old content? Yeah, I mean, of course so. Regardless, I'm very glad they're not testing it, because that way, everybody goes into the game and they see it all for the first time, and it doesn't kill the excitement like it did with ZG. I'm very glad this happened. The Scepter quest to open the gates is available for testing. However, when the gates are already open, it's not possible to trigger the gate opening event on the PTR. Yeah, there's no way I'm farming out the Scarabs for that. Alterac Valley updates. This patch includes many bug fixes for the issues found in the 1.12 version for World of Warcraft. You can no longer climb the waterfall and enter the Frostwolf base near the relief hut. You can no longer climb the cliff and enter Dun Baldar near the aid station. You can no longer bypass Icewing Bunker. So these are changes. These are not just like kind of changes. These are massive changes. What do you guys think about this? No more backdoors? Yeah, I mean, I think that overall, these are good decisions. I'm not surprised about this at all. I think this is a pretty much what we could expect to see. That's why they let bots run, so they can find these bugs. Anyone saying no changes at this point is retarded? I think that they are. Honestly, the way that I look at it is that there's going to be changes with the game. And I don't know, man. I feel like it's just a necessity at this point. And if we don't do changes to the game's just going to get worse as time goes on. And people that are taking advantage of bugs and things that weren't supposed to be in the game, I don't think that Blizzard should let that happen at this point. It's a bad decision, and if they do that, what's going to end up happening is the game is just going to erode and be worse and worse and worse. So yes, changes in the spirit of Classic. I think that's really what it comes down to. The spirit of Classic is what I think matters the most. Now, all of the other bullshit and everything else besides that is really irrelevant to me. But the spirit of the game is what makes the biggest difference. And the spirit of the game, I think, is that's what really is getting missed. That's the problem. Nostalgia's wearing off. Well, yeah, and also, like, basically, like, going into the game, I think that they should have taken a no changes approach, right? Make the game exactly how it was, and then scale back from that. Because if they didn't do that, think about this. If they hadn't done that, what we would have ended up having to deal with is a bunch of, you know, bullshit changes and things that maybe not everybody in the game wanted. But now, since the game has been out for a while, people can see what actually stands up to the test of time and what doesn't. And these are exploits. Like, these are fundamental exploits. So let's go down over here. Reputation inconsistencies between Alliance and Horde. Alliance now always receive reputation and honor from defeating Captain Galvangar, regardless of whenever Captain Belinda is alive. This now correctly mirrors the Horde behavior, which grants them reputation and honor for defeating Captain Belinda, regardless of Galv's status. Alliance druids can no longer have their actions disrupted by talking to them. This now correctly mirrors the behavior of the Horde elementalists. So this is obviously another bug. I'm pretty sure that everybody pretty much understands that. And bug fixes, I think, are a very good thing. I'm very glad to see bug fixes. The Horde War Masters can no longer be kited far enough to allow General Drekthar to be engaged and defeated alone. Thank God. Thank God they did that. I mean, the game's already been out. I mean, it's only been out for how many years? I mean, how many years has this been out? And they're just doing this now? Give me a fucking break, man. Like, they should have done this way earlier. But I feel like they were afraid of doing it earlier because they thought that people might start malding because they were changing the game. And I'm really glad they did that. That's why Classic is dead. Yeah, I mean, if they had done this earlier, it would have been much better for the game. Okay, the Alliance Prospector can no longer be tricked into pulling General Vandar Stormpike out of the bunker so he can be defeated alone. As always, our intention is to accurately represent 1.12 design intent of the game, and these bugs are clear examples of behaviors that were never intended. There it is. Add-on APIs. We've seen an increase in chat traffic with add-ons that synchronize data between users. Vast majority of add-ons do this responsibly. Some can be problematic to the point of degrading the game service for all players. We've previously hotfixed the server side of the game to incorporate chat throttles that work to alleviate some of this, which is a good thing. And so they're making threat easier to track, and they're making larger combat log range. I think both of these are obviously good changes. The community has largely solved threat calculations, and it has been, calculations, and it has created robust tools for displaying this in-game. We'd like to improve the add-on APIs so they can display this data in an add-on without needing to transmit a great deal of chat traffic. I don't know why. I hate to say this, but if they could just add in the threat meter that you have in the current WoW and the Classic, that would be fucking great. Like, I don't know, like, if that's basically what they're doing, but I would be very happy about that. Like, more visibility for things in the game, I would consider a good thing. I don't like having... I don't like playing a guessing game. That's what I think is the most annoying part about it. It's just fucking obnoxious. What's your favorite gaming experience of Classic? Probably logging off. Besides, like, you know, I guess at the very beginning, like, leveling was fun. But before that, like, it was just kind of dog shit. Like, after that was kind of dog shit. Like, leveling in Classic is the most fun part of the game. Larger combat log range. We originally restricted the combat log range in open world to prevent larger radius of stealth detection than existed in original WoW, but this isn't an issue in dungeons and raids. As a result, add-on authors send a great deal of chat to synchronize combat events across the raid. In this patch, we're increasing the combat log range in dungeons and raids so that damage meter add-ons can get an accurate data without the chat traffic. This is good. What is user? Man, you said last week that you wish there were no add-ons in Classic because it's too easy. You contradict yourself a lot, bro. There's the difference between enjoyable difficulty and frustrating difficulty. For example, the red circles that spawn on Algalon, the Cosmic Smashes, not being visible, is not a good level of difficulty. It's only difficult because the abilities and this thing that's on the screen is difficult for the player to be able to see. And that's what I don't like. I don't like it whenever you have things in the game that are hard to see and that are unintentional difficulty mechanics. I think threat and not knowing what threat is an unintentional difficulty mechanic. Also, I was talking specifically about retail WoW and the way that add-ons worked in retail WoW and how they made Blizzard develop fights that were more easy. I never talked at all about classics add-ons in Classic WoW. I had nothing to do with that. It doesn't matter to me at all. The game's already easy. It's already solved. It makes no difference. I was talking about retail WoW, and retail WoW, I have a different philosophy of how I'd want them to develop the game. So that's the real answer. Okay, let's go ahead and look at the rest of this. Authenticator bag slots. Since before WoW Classic was launched, we've been very concerned with replicating the original experience while eliminating as many ways that accounts could be compromised as possible. We can't eliminate them all, and unfortunately, many Classic WoW players have not yet taken steps to protect their account with an authenticator. That leads to difficulty for players whenever their account is compromised, and they need to contact Blizzard customer service to resolve the issue. In this patch, we're activating 4 additional bag slots for any player who has an authenticator attached to their WoW Classic account. Wow. Wow. Let's read the rest of this. Okay. Any player with an authenticator, in order to help preserve the new player experience for players who are new to Classic, this won't be advertised in-game until you've reached level 20. Any player with an authenticator already attached to their WoW account will see the 4 additional slots on their backpack when they log into version 13.5. And any player who doesn't will see an in-game plus on their bag to remind them to secure their account for this reward. We recognize this is a notable change from original WoW. Account security is very important to us, and we want to reward those for securing their accounts and have it apply to Classic WoW, as it has applied to World of Warcraft for many years. That's it. Game's dead. They didn't. They ruined the game. I can't believe it. Our game. Classic World of Warcraft. Blizzard has taken it and they've thrown it in the garbage. This was my greatest fear. At this point now, the game is a joke. The game used to be challenging, but they added these 4 slots into the game, and that's it. It's over. The fact is, guys, I remember back in the day, Classic used to be hard. We used to only have 16 bag slots. But now, we've got 4 more. We did a... Let me see what this says. As I said in the post, this is a change. Sure, it's a minor change. It doesn't come with any real gameplay changes, but it's not the issue. It's a matter of principle. If people can't be asked to get an authenticator, let them risk their account if they've already got it. They've had it for a long time because my account's important to me. Don't add the bag slots. What is this attitude you're referring to? The fact that I'm displeased with them claiming before release that they'll do an authentic release and keeping it as close to the original as possible. Then doing things that are the opposite of what they promised us, such as adding back layering past Phase 2, which they promised us they wouldn't do at all. If people can't be asked to protect their accounts with methods that are provided by the company, and the company can't be asked to pay employees to do their job, then why in the world should they apply literal changes to the game which was supposed to receive 0 changes? I'm glad somebody here knows what the truth is. This is just disgusting. Let me see if there's any posts about this on the Classic WoW Reddit. Oh, here it is. 1,000 comments. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Let's see what they have to say. Okay, Hive done 4 new rune clock. Yes, more bag space. Oh, my God, man. What the fuck, man? Because it normalizes the extra monetization mechanics being added into Classic WoW. Oh well, the game has been dead to anyone that isn't an addict for a while anyway. Fuck Blizzard for a shitty Classic WoW. True, dude! This is fucking ridiculous that they would allow this to happen. I don't even know what to say. This is so disgusting. They got downvoted? Yeah, by 3 people. This is what they have to say. Monetization, what the fuck? Do you have to pay for an authenticator? I don't even know. Like, do you have to pay for an authenticator or not? No? Yeah, I didn't think so. Yeah, I thought so. Okay. Yeah, all right. That's about right. It's free to get the bag slots. Yeah, I don't understand, man. That's fucking ridiculous. Okay. When I understand a lot of bots are hacked accounts. Yeah, that's basically why they're doing it, man. Everyone's talking about the bag slots. Favorite part of the patch is this. Okay, let's see. Cloak Enchant. It feels like most people on the subreddit are actually pretty content about this. Okay, let's see what it says. Hell yeah, hasn't a major takeaway? I feel like, yeah. There's almost nobody here that's complaining about it, which I'm really surprised about. I was expecting to see a lot of mad boys. Yeah. Well, you do need a phone? Well, that way they'll just be ready for Diablo Immortal. It's fine. 4 bag slots, am I reading this right? Yeah, it's just 4 from 20. All right, let's see what the rest of the comments are. And time to quit. I signed up for the vanilla experience. Now they're giving out welfare bag slots? This is not the WoW I remember and love. This is the game, guys. This is the world. These are real people. These are actual real people out there. I don't even know what else to say. But that's pretty much what we've got. Sort by controversial. Okay, I'll do that in a minute. Sets a gross precedent. That's very true, man. So true. I'm not quitting over this, but it definitely doesn't feel like a change in the spirit of Classic. I wish they could come up with another way to reward players that isn't as impactful. Give them a pet or something. I feel like... I feel like if you go back, like, yes, obviously this is a change for the game. Like, let's be real. This is a clear and obvious change for the game. But I do think that it's a positive change for the game. It makes the game better. And fundamentally... Oh, you did get to pad with it eventually? Yeah, I don't know. It's absolutely irrelevant. Yeah, I don't think it matters. Like, giving people more inventory space... Like, I don't think inventory management is a fun part of the game. It does not make the game good. It does not make it better. It does not make it enjoyable. It adds nothing of value to the game. And that's just the truth. It's boring and it sucks. So if they're going to make this better and add 4 more bag slots, it's part of the struggle. Yeah, but it's not fun. Like, the thing is that you can make the game exactly the way that it used to be. But I think OSRS, for example, the reason the game started becoming more popular and is popular now is because it catered to people who, like, it improved on itself. And I think that if they want Classic WoW to continue to be popular, they have to do some things that just make certain parts of the game that are pure annoyances easier to do. That's basically it. Yeah, let's see. They polled the game updates? Well, I mean, like, it's not really a poll. I mean, obviously they made the right decision because so many people are happy about it. All right, we're going to sort by controversial. We'll see what people have to say. Okay. Pretty hard, no changes. Everybody here is pretty much positive about this, man. Dude in my guild super pissed off saying this is the fast patched. A dude in my guild is pissed off saying this is the fast path to race and faction changes. There it is, dude. There it is. True, dude. So true. Oh my god. That and literal terrain modifications. Yep. Part of my comment shows developers insist on changes to make it sound like I'm for no changes. Yeah, I feel like they have to do that if the terrain is broken. I mean, that's what makes sense to me, at least. I think so. Let's see. Satire, right? No, I don't think that's necessarily satire. Had to fix the alliance-based shortcut. Maybe this will improve the morale of the other 40% of alliance players who AFK at the graveyard and leech honor while simultaneously saying it's a map imbalance that they lose all the time. Yeah, it's about right. Something like that. When were faction and race changes first implemented? In like Wrath or something like that. I forgot really when. Okay, let me see here. What are the rest of these? 4th bag slots, making thrust customization. Yeah, I feel like most people are... Okay, yeah, we saw that one. Most people are pretty positive. And the people that are negative are, they're getting downvoted. Which is really surprising to me. Like, I would have never expected to see this in Classic WoW. One thing that I do worry about, though, I will say this, is that their logic for adding the WoW token will be exactly the same. Yeah. Store mounts first, please. They're not going to add in store mounts to Classic WoW, okay? Like, it's not going to happen. So just chill out. There it is. In-game advantages for gained out-of-game actions is really stupid. Not everyone wants to have an authenticator. Besides that, it makes the game easier if literally everyone just got free space. That's right. The game is a lot easier now. I was struggling on Veil, and now that they added this, I'm not struggling anymore. I just one-shot the boss. It's a joke. That's how easy it is, gentlemen. Fucking dumb opinion. Yeah, this is crazy. Let me see what these guys are saying. That's 40 more slots if you have 10 characters. It benefits myself more than most people because I already have every character's bank and bags filled with items. This will allow me to do even more investments at once. This isn't retail. People don't have hundreds of inventory slots on their character. The fact that people are cheering for this update means those slots are impactful. Oh boy. 4 bag slots give us Classic Plus at this point. Here's what I really think about this. I don't think it matters. I think that having people be incentivized to get an authenticator for their account is an overall improvement for the game because that means less people are going to get hacked and there's going to be less hacking things going on. And one of the big reasons why they have "you are Blizzard lucky players" and all those people messaging you saying that they're Blizzard and Classic WoW and not retail is because the practice of having an authenticator is much more common in retail WoW than it is in Classic. And if Classic, all you need to do is get somebody's account information and you can log into their account, well, what do you think people are going to do? Well, they're going to get their account information and log into their account. That's ultimately what the problem is going to be. So the point of the bag space is Blizzard is willing to change Classic and go back on their word. Well, of course they are. Like, the fact is, like, you can't develop a game and you can't do things with a changing community and a changing world based off of the same principles that you originally started with. You have a general philosophy, but sometimes you need to change that based off of the reality of things. So a good example of this is layering. So player behavior caused everybody to play on certain servers, and in the process of them playing on these certain servers, what it ended up doing is it made it to where all of the people on these servers just wanted to stay on that server and they couldn't get people to leave the server. So there were just these massive fucking things and it just got 1,000 times worse. So I'm actually really glad that they're doing this. And I know that some people might be upset about it and I can see why, but I do think that it's the right decision. You're not prepared? Exactly.